Now, in this case, I'm using the drill press. And this is a good old Ajax. It was a 3-phase machine, and I replaced it with a single-phase motor. Both the machine itself and the motor were bought in Clogher Variety Mart. Ajax Machine Tools Company Limited, makers Halifax. That gives the speeds, and then it says machine number 8141. 8141. Anyone that's into that. Look at the solid cast iron bed. And when you fit a single phase motor, which is not reversible, you don't need it reversible, you have to fit a capacitor. Right? Now, the machine also has, it's bolted on with this slide. And this is the cast iron machine, the cast iron top on it, or whatever you call that, the pillar. And then it has this feature here. Now, I'd say this came out of a school. I think if I remember correctly, the guy selling it said it came from a school. You see the way it has the stop here? See the way you can, well, it's not just easy. Show that there's a stop. So you can screw these down, and as you screw them down, the limit the depth it can go, and that's very important on machines. And this is the quill here moving up and down, right? And then that moves up and down here through the pulley. And you have 3 choices of pulley. Generally, I always use the lower one. Now, you have to tighten these here, these bolts, to get it right. It shouldn't be up that far, just that we're busy today. So that's the machine itself. For small, light work, you'd use a little holder like this, a little vise like this. The problem with all of these machines is if they catch, they'll bring the vise round and you could hurt you. Or if you're drilling something like this or and it comes round, it could hurt you. And I seen a video years ago of a poor woman working in a factory in England, drilling holes, and that was the constant problem. It kept hitting her. There was no health and safety or any guard or anything else. Now, the base of this is cast iron, and that means you could slap anything on it. It will not break. And it has a well around it here. Now, this big vise is one I also bought in Clogher Mart, because I always go high quality. And it says C.H. Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor. Again, English. Oh, it was very hard to beat, the English stuff. It's great stuff. It's a pleasure to work with it. And so you can fit anything in this. This is almost certainly a milling machine or a big drill vise. The strange thing about it is that it has no holes here. You'd think there'd be holes around here. So it must be clamped on some other way. It was probably relying on its own weight. Now, in fairness, if the drill catches and brings that round, it won't hurt you because it'll hit against the back of the drill here. It'll hit against the back of that. Of course, we're limited in the amount of stuff we can get in here, but I rarely ever need anything bigger than this. You wouldn't get these to buy now. Now, the drill itself is held in by Morse taper, and there are several Morse tapers, the smallest being one. And you need to get it out using a wedge. So you have to hit the wedge with the hammer, you see, to drive it out. So you have to hit the wedge like that, and when you hit the wedge, you drive out the drill. The twist drill is the correct name of it. Twist drill is the correct name. Now, if we look at, here is a broken twist drill. This is broke off, so they will break. They're very brittle. And it has this shape. Now I'll clean that off. It has this shape. And that fits into the quill, which has a Morse taper as number 2, the same as the tailstock of the lathe. You have 3 and you have 4, and you can have 5 Morse taper, which is about nearly 1.5 inches at least in diameter at the thick end. Now, lots of people claim that this wedge here is designed to give a grip See, up here. Now I'll show you. It's designed to give a grip up here. Wait a see, can I get it? Now, do you see it there? Don't know, can you see it there now with the light? See it there? That means it can't turn. Well, that's not really the purpose. The Morse taper is held in by friction, by the action of the taper, which is ideal. It's around 11 degrees against the internal receiver. And this bit here, the spade piece on the end of it, that flat piece, is to drive it out. It's not designed to carry the torque. Sometimes you'll see where the Morse taper slips, and you'll see that a bit distorted. Well, it will, I suppose, assist a bit, but it's not the correct way. This drill bit is held in here by friction, and you do not lubricate this bit. You make sure you keep the lubrication off it. So you just tap it there. I can do it now for you. So I'm going to give it a hit here. And that's it, there it comes out. So there is your drill bit. Where are we now? Oh yeah. And again, it has the Morse taper top. And you can see that one got a wee bit of a twist, showing that it was carrying some of the load at some stage. But you need to put them in correctly. Now here is a Morse taper sleeve. I'll put it here. That's just a sleeve. You can put that in the lathe, in the 3-jaw chuck or any chuck, and it has the Morse taper. So it converts round to Morse taper. So if you wanted to use a drill in the chuck of the lathe, one of these type drills here, you would use this sleeve. I have several of them. I never had to buy them. I think all Mart, all the excess from schools. I was very lucky to be around when the industrialisation of Britain was in decline due to socialist policies, and I bought some of the stuff they had, and I got it at good value. I mean, that drill bit there with the 3 parts on it, with the 3 flutes, wherever I done it, oh, that would cost a lot of money. That would cost a lot of money. I'd say you'd pay 40 for that. So this is a Jacobs. That's a Jacobs chuck. And that has a 2 Morse taper. So that actually goes up into this. See? And has to be hammered up into it and hammered out. Well, then it has this for round-shaped twist drills. See? Round-shaped twist drills. And you need a key. And they'll slip. They're not very satisfactory I mean, they don't use them in masonry. In masonry, there's a different type of connector that cannot slip. But they'll get you by for tidy work, and you can get them in different sizes. And I keep losing the keys, and sometimes they get a bit jammed, and they're not good. They're not good to buy second hand. A lot of the time they're offered at marts, they're finished, they're all damaged on the inside. Whereas the like of this, you can see what you're getting. Now, the other little thing here, just to say to you, is this was a 3-phase machine, and you have to wire it for single phase. And the way you do that is contained in a book I have called The Model Engineers, I think it's manual or workshop. It's by Tubal Cain. Well, Tubal Cain was some kind of an engineer himself, so they all use this name. But there's a way of adopting that. I won't go into it here, there's no point. What I would do if anyone is stuck, I'd make a photocopy of it and I'd send it to them if they want to change a machine from single phase to, I apologise, from 3-phase to single phase. It's grand for something like this, you can do it when there's only one switch. If you're buying a 3-phase lathe and you try to do this, you could be into trouble. For example, this is not split phase. This motor goes one direction only. One thing to remember is with heavy vices, if they fall on your toes, they take the toe off you. If this falls down on this edge, which has happened, take the toe off you. So when you're using it, you always stand a bit to one side and have a right or left foot one side, so that if anything goes wrong, you can lift the other foot out of the way. You must not be standing with the 2 big feet together. You must have one foot out and then the other foot there, and the minute that the emergency happens and it goes to fall, and that can happen, you need to be able to pull the foot away, and you don't try to stop it, you pull the foot away. You pull the foot clean away, right? Now these machines are now replaced by the modern drill presses you get in the workshops, and they'll do you. I won't give any, mostly all Chinese, but I often lament the passage of these. I mean, a lathe or a drill press or a milling machine with that sort of stuff in it would be a great job. I even considered at one stage trying to change that to a drill press, but it's not. I didn't go ahead with it. So sorry, changing that to a milling machine, but I didn't go ahead with it. There's a spring in here, and and then the handle winds like this, a single handle. So that's it. That's my drill press, folks, and I have it on a stand here, like that. You see it now. What I'm doing with it at the moment, I have it on a stand that I made, rattled up a good stand, a good solid stand. What I'm doing at the moment is the cattle, a couple of big cows, managed to get the end of the feeding gate, you know, the thing to stick their head to, the diagonal thing, and they got that loose with wall plugs coming loose, and when it was loosed, they busted through it, and then it was acting like a gate. Actually, you see the way she bent it, so I cut it off. But even at that, I think that a fresh one is the best way to go. So what I'm doing is I have a plate underneath. So there's 2 to be made, and here's the plate. So it's just not as thick. So I'll just have to replicate it, make it the same way as I made the original, put on a piece of 2.5 inch tubing on that, and weld it to it, and that should be all right. So I'm drilling the holes so that they're perfectly in line with the original piece, so that when I drill it up, there's a hole in there. I don't know, can you see it? A hole in there, and there's a hole there, and that'll hold it down with 2 good bolts to the upright of the shed girder. See you back. Thank you. Comment underneath. Bye.